it's Joce from Joce and Bell. Going to be talking about Salt, 2010 action spy movie. Stars Angelina Jolie, Liev Schreiber, Chiwetel Ejiofor. A brief outline of the movie. Angelina Jolie, Liev, and Chiwetel are government operatives, CIA agents, etc. A Russian defector comes in, says, you have a plant inside your government, you know, you have a Russian spy. Through some turns of events, they are going to kill the Russian president, ensuing chaos and war between Russia and the United States. Major spoilers, Angelina Jolie's character is who the defector calls out as the operative who is going to carry out this plan of events. Evelyn, they're saying, is a Russian spy brought up through this Russian spy kid academy to implant in the American government and carry out this plan of attack. Essentially, this man brought up some kids in like this Russian spy camp to train them to infiltrate American government's agencies, and it was very interesting to see like the flashbacks of those kids who were brought up in this spy kid world. Throughout the movie, you don't know if you can believe Salt. Is she bad or is she good? Is she for the Russians? Is she for the Americans? Just kept you on your toes. There is also a twist at the end. When I first watched this movie and I saw the twist, I was like literally dumbfounded and struck that this person that I thought this whole time was like a friendly person, you knew that they were good, turned out to be the total opposite. Twists are always fun in movies, right? Like believable twists. This movie at the end threw in that twist and it just like elevated the whole movie for me, right? Because you're still always with Evelyn, you're wondering, and then with this twist at the end, it's just the two together make a great storyline and a great flow of and turn of events throughout the movie. A lot of times in action movies, sometimes the person who is like your heroine or your hero or the protagonist gets overtaken a lot of the times by like the bad guys or someone who's chasing after them, and that annoys me to no end. Angelina Jolie's character is really good at fighting. Evelyn Salt, you know, she's a spy, she's a CIA operative, so she's able to overtake some of these people. You know, she shoots them, she kicks them, she stabs them, she blows up stuff. A lot of the action sequences I really enjoy just because she always was able to fight herself out of a situation. Also because a lot of the time in action films, or like when a woman is being attacked, like the man always overtakes her, which I know sometimes men are stronger, but with her being a CIA agent, surely she has some like moves where she could kill everybody. Now, with a lot of movies, there are some unbelievable moments, and going back to like the action sequences, there's a chase scene where she like jumps on top of a semi. She didn't even really get hurt from that, which is very unbelievable because they were running on the interstate and she jumped and she didn't like break her ankle or break her arm. She was like hanging on the side of the semi, which there's nothing really to hang on the semi. She also drops down an elevator shaft, and it's clearly like she has one of those cables on where like she's like floating, because her land isn't hard, it's like a floating land. Could she have jumped down an elevator shaft and like shimmied her way down? Maybe. Towards the end, the person where the twist occurs never gets questioned. They never question this person's motives or like why are they the only one alive in this room, essentially. Another unbelievable moment is after she gets shot when she's running away like the first time, and it pans outside of a bar. She's in the bathroom of that bar and she kicks down like the sanitary depository, like where they keep the tampons and the pads, and she's putting a pad like on her bullet wound. One, none of those things are ever filled with pads or tampons, and then two, there wouldn't really be a sanitary depository in a bar bathroom. It's an action movie, it's Hollywood. Of course there's going to be unbelievable moments in all films. I really wanted to read some Rotten Tomato reviews because on Rotten Tomatoes, have it pulled up right now, it got a 61% on the tomato meter, which I think is like the certified critics, and then an audience score of 59%, which isn't good. I always tend to disagree with Rotten Tomatoes. I like a lot of movies that Rotten Tomatoes people think are sucky movies. So I just wanted to read some of these to figure out why they didn't like them. So this one says, can an action film have too much action? That seems a little too piggy. It's a freaking action movie, and I didn't think there was too much action. Maybe too long, like the chase scenes, but like not too much action. The filmmakers determined to double cross, triple cross, and quadruple cross both Salt and the audience. Now that's true, but I don't see that as a bad thing. This person said, it's not smart enough to be satire, it's not goofy enough to be a guilty pleasure, it's not funny enough to be a comedy. Did they even watch the movie? It wasn't supposed to be satire or comedy. It was an action movie. They didn't know that this was an action movie. This one gave it a B- rating. Salt may not be as smart as it wants to be, but if you go in looking for an entertaining action flick and not an elaborate psychological mind game, it's worth watching. So now these are audience score reviews. Those were critic scores. These are audience scores. I went into this film not expecting much. It was full of some nice twists that kept the film going, but as an action film, it's nothing we haven't seen before. All action films are nothing we haven't seen before. Tell me one movie that's a unique action film. You can leave it in the comments. I love action films and heist movies. It's probably not a bad action flick if you suspend all disbelief and don't think back on too much that's previously happened. Previously happened in the movie? I don't understand that. The story does almost everything to make you not root for the main character. I rooted for Salt the whole time. Because it was freaking Salt. I love that movie. Also, I wish there was a second movie, but there's not. That concludes my overview of Salt. Let me know if you have watched Salt and what you thought of it. If you haven't, can you give me some more action movies or like heist movies to watch? Because those are my favorite. I love a good heist movie. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Tuesday.